Hi, everybody. I'm George Aguiar, and I'm here to share my Odyssey plan that I have developed for this class. I've really enjoyed this class tremendously as it has brought back to me some passions that I had hidden away for some time now. When I started college, my career path was one in which I wanted to go into teaching. My goal was to be a high school teacher and be able to coach. And as many as you know, the teaching profession doesn't compensate as well as it probably should, and actually as it should. So I actually changed my career path about 3 years into college. I changed it over to business, mainly because of the money. I'll be very honest. And so I went down the path of getting a business degree, and here I am, 20 years later. Now, I can't complain. I've been very fortunate with my career. I think I've done very well, and I'm very happy for everything that I have. But this course has actually reinforced some of that passion and desire for me to go into the educational field. So the Odyssey plan that I am going to share with you today is one in which I will transition from corporate America into the educational field in the next 3 to 5 years. Now, you might ask, why 3 to 5 years? So the current company that I work for right now has been very grateful and paid for this EMBA that I am finishing, which I'm very, very grateful for again. And because of that, there is a 3 year commitment that I must give to the company. And if not, then I have to compensate them back for what they paid for. So I am actually planning to be here for the next 3 years. And then during that time frame, though, I am really looking at everything that I have to do to be ready for when my time commitment is done, to be able to transition. So when we start looking at some of the things that would impact my ability to be able to complete this Odyssey plan of mine, I look at some of the activity that we did on the strengths and weaknesses activity. It was kind of hard for me to really look at the weaknesses that exercise showed because it's kind of painful to see what you're not good at. So one of the key things for me from a weakness perspective is that of the domain of execution and strategic thinking, which was interesting because it's actually a key domain for what I currently do. And when we start looking at execution, my biggest concern is going to be whether I'll be able to actually execute the plan that I put in place. So that was one of the things that it was a little painful to see that it's not one of my strengths. I was really hoping it would come out to be one of my strengths, but it didn't. From a strengths perspective, though, I did get the reinforcement of what I already know today, to be very honest. I'm a big people person. So this whole COVID working from home, all that stuff is actually, it's affected me quite a bit because I love the interaction with the people. I love the relationship building. I love the influencing, all that stuff. So I feel that those are some of the strengths that one will help me in my current career. It'll help me continue to grow. But also when I start looking at my Odyssey plan around becoming either high school teacher or a professor, those are some of the key things that I really think are important as we start looking at how I could help the kids of our future, our future leaders, the influencing, the relationship building, all that is going to be very important. So I'm really going to lean on those strengths that I have there and ultimately really push myself to strengthen those weaknesses that I have from an execution and strategic thinking perspective. So those are some of the things there that I'm going to work on. When I start thinking about the steps that I need to take now, I've actually already started some of those steps. I've already started working on my team that will support me and that I'm really going to look towards to help me keep on track. And that is my family, and then also some of my fellow coworkers, and some of the directors that I have that I look up to and have become close friends of mine, and understand the passion that I have in teaching and wanting to go into that field. So that's really going to be my team there. And then also, when I start looking at the next steps, what are other things that I have to do, and that is really going to be working with local educators, both from a professor perspective, looking at universities, colleges, high schools, is starting to create that network that I need to create to transition my who I am today. And again, looking at my brand today, people know me as somebody who's been in the aerospace industry for 20 years. I will work on that and rebrand myself to be somebody who's has the education, has the knowledge in business, and will transition and share that from an educational perspective. So teaching kids and so forth. So that's the rebranding that I really need to work on. Most of the things that I'm doing there, I've already started to look at educational conferences, people I can work with to get my name out there, LinkedIn, and so forth. Those are the key things that I will look at to be able to share and rebrand myself as somebody different that will bring the knowledge and so forth. And then the additional steps would also be around, again, getting the support from my family. That is probably my number one step that I have to do. And the reason I say that is because financially, there will be a decrease in the financial situation for us as a family. And again, unless I get some high paying educational job, I know that's one thing that I have to make sure I have the support of my family in, because it'll be an impact to us. So we just have to know that, have to plan for it, and be ready for that is the key for me there. So yeah, that is my Odyssey plan. I hope that in the next 3 to 5 years, well, let me rephrase that. In the next 3 to 5 years, working on my execution, next 3 to 5 years, I will transition away from corporate America and go into education and teach our children of the future. And not just children, adults, all of us, right? But help educate our folks. And who knows, maybe we'll cross paths again, or I'll cross paths with some of your kids. So thank you, everybody, for listening to my Odyssey plan. And congrats to all of you graduating. And I look forward to all the great things that are going to come our way. Thank you.